the not yet holy. And it is open to individual autonomy, rather than demanding submission to rabbis even on meta-halachic issues. That's primarily, I think, the two ways in which modern Orthodoxy is different from the Orthodox Rite. Again, it's different in terms of giving value, potential kedusha to modernity. And it differs also in that it is much broader in allowing for individual autonomy. In a word, modern, or what I call open Orthodoxy, is a dialectic. While most people associate Orthodoxy with closeness, open Orthodoxy, what I call open Orthodoxy, is a counterintuitive idea. It is orthodox in that its commitment to halakha is fervent and demanding, but it is open in that it acknowledges, considers, and takes into account in varying ways a wide spectrum of voices. Quite simply, open Orthodoxy is orthodox in that it is committed to the minutiae of halakha, but as we will spell out in our next session, it is open in that it is inclusive, unapologetically pluralistic, and non-judgmental. In an essay I wrote in Judaism some years ago, I put it this way if you take a look at number 7. The key to strengthening open Orthodoxy is the reconciling of more rigid halachic practices, which I believe are positive, with our open ideological agenda. It is this tension that is difficult to live with, but it is this dialectic between different ideas that ultimately sets open Orthodoxy apart from the Orthodox Rite. The Orthodox Rite deals in absolutes. Their closed ideological agenda is a natural offshoot of their halachic fervor. Open Orthodoxy does not see this offshoot as necessary. The open Orthodox Jew true and profound religio-legal creativity and spiritual striving emerges from the tensions between the poles of strict halachic adherence and open ideological pursuits. They appear to be opposites when in fact they are one. As I pointed out, I prefer the term open Orthodoxy to modern or centrist Orthodoxy, and I want to tell you why. The term modern Orthodoxy no longer distinguishes our community, as the Haredi world is also modern, as they are very much aware of modern technology. My brother-in-law, Avram Husenrat, who's a glorious, wonderful person, but he is in the Ner Yisrael world, believe me, is much more modern than I am. He knows much more about technology. He worked as the chief of staff, as the assistant first to the mayor of Baltimore and then to the governor of Maryland. He knows much more about city planning. He's much more modern than I am. But he's in a good world. It's a beautiful world. The world is a beautiful world. I'm simply arguing that there's a place for a modern and open Orthodox world. So modern Orthodoxy to me no longer distinguishes us, because I see the Aguda and the right-wing world as being very modern. Nor do I care for the term centrist Orthodoxy, as the very term is reactive. What does it mean to be in the center? Being in the center means that one is defined by those on both sides. You're defined by your flanks. So as the right or left shifts, the center must also shift in order to stay in the middle. I believe actually that's what's happening. I believe that a lot of what we're doing today has to do not with us, but has to do with the way we're looking over our shoulders. So centrist Orthodoxy, I think the term is reactive. To be in the center means you're reacting to your flanks. Open Orthodoxy is a proactive term, a balance between its very word, open Orthodoxy. And there's a tremendous need for open Orthodoxy. Today, modern Orthodoxy of the 60s and the 70s is moving to the right, and conservative Judaism is moving to the left, and will, I believe, in the coming years merge with the Reform movement, leaving the middle open for open Orthodoxy. I was asked I was asked to write a piece for Moment magazine. I was the Orthodox representative of what I think the future's going to look like. And I said, I think the modern Orthodox is moving to the right, and I think conservative is moving to the left, and the reform is certainly on ritual issues is moving to the right, maybe not on theological. And there are already conservative reform synagogues and temples that are emerging. I said, I'm absolutely convinced of it. In the middle, there's open Orthodoxy. We represent this need of people looking for rootedness and change. And that's, by the way, I think we've identified that need, and that's why Holiday, against all odds, has had the success that it's had. It's had the success because we've identified this need. But I tell you that little anecdote because my last line in that Moment piece was, I'm absolutely, they asked us to write what we think will be in 50 years. I said, I'm absolutely certain right. And if I'm wrong, I will buy for everyone who reads this piece a beer at that time. Without a problem, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Relative to Orthodoxy, friends, there is good news and there is bad news. The good news is that Orthodox synagogues and schools are more crowded than ever before. The bad news, there it is, that for 80% of American Judaism, Orthodoxy is irrelevant. Open Orthodoxy is a medium to spiritually reach and interact with all of Am Yisrael. And Am Yisrael B'Gadol, I believe, is waiting for this message. That's what modern Orthodoxy was when I was studying at Yeshiva University in the 60s. And that's what my rabbinate has been about. That's what this Bayit is about. That's what Yeshivat Chovevei Torah is about. That's what Yeshivat Marat is all about. As we move into the coming decades, I pray that we continue contributing to this vision. Thank you. Please, first identify yourself.